You recording? Yeah, it's recording. Alright. You know, watching some chills. 12 videos that'll make you scared of the dark. Not if I'm already. Alright, let's hear it's number 15. Number 15. Me agarraron de los huevos a la edad de 10. Porque quería que le di. Nada más, mejor no digo nada. Alright, let's just watch
These
this shit.
videos are sure to make you scared of the dark,
Scared
or
of the
at
dark.
least keep you second guessing next time the lights are out.
What a fucking monkey.
Number 12.
Number
John
12.
Cater carefully combs through his home looking for the source of what he can only describe as a creepy noise. 1 second the room will be
Se
completely
están cojando su
silent.
madre y padre.
Like it.
And the next minute it sounds like some kind of grinding noise that could drive somebody insane over time.
Oh my god.
Están arriba en la recámara. Están haciendo fuchi, fuchi, fuchi. Ay, güey.
It goes away.
Oh my
Porque
god.
escucharon a su hijo. Oh
John
my god, it's
eventually
right.
traces the noise back to a dark room
Te
that he
dije,
has
se
never
estaba
really paid any
cogiendo.
particular attention to before, and apparently something in there wants to keep it that way. It looks like an invisible force slams the door shut from the other side, and we never do get to see what was down there with him, if anything. Number 11.
Number
These
11.
British YouTubers are having a
course
look
they gotta
around
be
an old
British.
synagogue that
fuck is
hasn't
a
been
synagogue?
used in ages. The space is well lit, and soon they stumble upon a ladder leading to
What's
a
a
much
synagogue?
darker attic
Syna-
area.
synagogue.
One of them bravely climbs along the wooden rafters and goes
Wooden
much
ra-
farther out than the rest.
The fuck is that,
Everything
water?
going fine until he
This is a
makes the mistake
church?
of stepping on the much weaker, fluffy white insulation.
It's just what?
He just barely catches himself and now hangs suspended from the ceiling, too stunned to scream, his upper half still in the attic and his bottom half dangling in the air. Look down the hole and you can see he's at a dizzying height. If he hadn't quickly grabbed onto the rafters for support, there would be nothing to keep him from free
Pendejo,
falling
this
to
is
the
why you always have
bottom.
a crowbar near
Number
you so like you
10.
can hang on.
A giant huntsman spider is trying to get away, but the more it tries, the closer the curious camera person seems to get. In
Pendejo.
fact,
No
whoever
mames.
is film-
White bitch. White bitch. Nothing else but a white bitch. Who are the ones that always do the stupid decisions in those horror movies? White bitch. Just saying. In China, this is what you call food.
Filming unintentionally provokes the spider in many different ways. They blow the spider away from them while it tries to descend
Blow
a
it
strand
away.
of web,
Están
and the
haciendo el fuchi
vibrations from
fuchi.
the radio probably bother the spider too.
What fucking eerie music is that?
Eventually, the camera is so close that you can see its massive brown body in fairly clear detail. Despite the low resolution and dark room, the spider reaches a far corner and realizes there's nowhere left to go. Well, there's still one way left to go, but neither the spider nor the human will like it, especially not the human.
Especially not the human.
The spider is so big that its massive abdomen covers up the
Oh,
entire
mames.
lens upon landing, and according to the title of this video, it quickly moves onto his head and he screams. I read that huntsman spiders will chomp when they feel threatened, so hopefully
that
this
fucking-
person wasn't allergic to spiders, because based on what I've just seen, that's almost undoubtedly what happens next. Number 9.
Oh,
This baby is being filmed looking
that
at his own
fucking
reflection
scared
in
me.
the mirror, but when he turns around to look at his parents, his reflection does not follow his movements. I guess the parents must have put this footage online to see if people thought this was a real paranormal incident or not.
Where the
only other thing I
fuck?
can think of is computer effects, but you couldn't fake this baby's reaction, and he looks genuinely scared by this reflection. Number 8. Two fishermen cast their reels into the Gulf of Mexico
A la
without a care in
madre.
the world. 20 minutes later, they only have one care in the world: getting out alive.
Mira, pendejo, mira, no gringos se van a nuestro
Bear
lugar.
finds themselves caught in the middle of a giant storm system gathering
Mira, güey.
overhead. Going backwards
Mi
means
lugarcito.
traveling in the same direction
I don't
as
give
the
a fuck if it's
storm.
next
So the
next
only
to
thing left to do
Texas,
is charge
Illinois,
deeper
que me
into
vale
the
madre.
storm and hope to come out the other
That's
side
our
in
home
one
right there.
piece.
Or
The storm
Cancun, ese es
hasn't
nuestro
even begun
lugarcito,
yet,
mira, güey.
and
No,
you
we
can
don't
see
want
the
no
waves
gringos
almost coming
in there.
into
We
the
don't want
boat
no
already. They need to
tragedy
hurry if
otra
they
vez,
ever
güey.
want
No,
to
vete
see
la
dry
verga.
land again. The storm gets worse and worse until they can barely tell the sky apart from the sea. Everything is just a big swirling mass of gray with absolutely no visibility, except for the occasional crack of lightning to illuminate their path for a few precious seconds at a time. If things get any worse, their tiny boat will surely capsize under
Here
the
we go.
crushing waves. Finally, after an hour of riding, they emerge from the traveling
Dude, my
storm
dude,
and
more
return
wrinkly
to
than my
blue
fucking web.
skies.
What the hell
You
is
can
wrong with
tell
this
that they
face?
are truly safe because they can stand fully upright again. Number 7. Matt Petrez thinks this dark and empty hotel elevator looks strange, but he doesn't want to take the stairwell, so he gets on anyway. It's a long and creepy ride in total darkness that does not end well.
Pendejo,
Matt
try your
knows he has made a
guts.
mistake as soon as the doors shut, but it's too late to do anything other than stare at the numeric red panel as it counts down the floors. Then on the
Fuck,
5th
no.
floor this happens. Matt claims the elevator stopped moving and he was stuck for a long time. I guess he could have just covered the camera with his hand and made the story up, or maybe something bad really did happen on the 5th floor to cause this potentially paranormal elevator ride. Number 6. A YouTuber named RIS
Cause you gotta be a
plunges himself
fucking
into
gringo,
a
man.
small cement sewer pipe for no
They're the
other
stupid
reason
ones.
than to see
Stupid.
how far he can
Stupid.
go. As it turns out, the answer is not very far at all.
I can't move. Oh.
Stupid, pendejo.
Crawling in is always the easy part, but getting out is hard, especially with an oversized helmet that takes up more space.
And this
You can see one
big ass
arm
head.
is pinned beneath him, and one arm is holding the camera. Backing out is not going to work in this position, and going forward offers no freedom either. His friends grab his legs, but the way his arm is wedged beneath of him makes him impossible to budge.
Pendejo, man.
No, I'm actually stuck.
Finally, he maneuvers his other arm out so they both stick out in front of him. They try a final time. He tries to play it off like it's no big deal, but you can hear some real struggling during this part. I think he's about another 5 minutes away from panicking, so I'm glad they didn't have to call an
Chamaco
emergency
pendejo,
rescue
era.
team to break him free.
Yo soy pendejo.
Number 5. Perks is exploring an old, overgrown estate that's rumored to have a long history full of bad events and cursed memories. The manor itself seems to be in early stages of decay, and judging by these mattresses in the living room, looks to have been taken over by strangers. The house is definitely creepy, but nothing really feels out of place until Perks
Yeah, you
heads
gotta do
down
what you
into
gotta
the
do.
basement. He can't quite explain how he knows it, but he can sense an evil presence down disturbed in a long time. That's when he finds it lying in the corner of an especially unwelcoming part of the basement. If an expert could please verify, we could solve a potentially horrifying scene.
Is that a fucking
Number
bone?
4. It's 3 a.m. and therefore time for two brothers to test their bravery down in the basement, which they are pretty sure is haunted. They spend about a minute down there and start hearing noises from the back of the room. The brothers quickly agree that this noise sounds like a single human footstep in the darkness, and I would have to concur.
That. Yo, do you see
Dude.
it?
Instead of running away,
Course they had to be little
the two
fucking
brothers
chamaquillos.
decide to directly confront the
Pendejo.
creature or spirit
Era
or
back in my
whatever
day.
it is that's down there with them.
Unas
And
armas,
the timing of its reply shows
unas
that it
botellas.
understands them completely.
Y a chingar su madre. Uh-huh. Oh, what the fuck?
The two brothers
Yo.
were hoping to last the night.
Yo, I did not
They
expect
hardly
that,
make it
no.
down there 5 minutes. Every sound they hear comes
Yeah,
closer.
and I thought I was the one that
than
make the bang next thing you know,
until
whoosh.
this final sound comes from directly behind them as they leave.
I can't do this anymore. I'm sorry, but I'm scared.
I'm scared.
Okay, alright.
Pendejo, mira.
You can see the younger brother is right next to him, and he doesn't do anything to cause the sound. So unless there's a third person with them, I think this video is absolutely real. Number
Hello,
3.
my name's Emily. Here's my
Ivan
resume.
Dragunov
Today I'll be
stands at the
auditioning
top
for the
of the
play Annie.
stairs,
For my monologue,
leading
I
down
decided
to
to go
his
with a scene
basement,
from one
and
of
says
my
something in a
favorite
language
films.
I can't
Thank you.
understand. Try to translate what he
What are
says,
you
and more
doing,
importantly,
Step
tell me if you
Bro?
can hear a brief whisper echoing all around him.
Okay, Tukima, Dunkhove.
At the bottom of the stairs, something
Yeah, sorry,
unseen
I can't
fills
make these
Ivan with
videos.
dread, and he can't seem to catch his breath. He tries to run, but fear overrides the signal and his feet stand still. The room is cast into a heavy silence until whatever is watching him finally moves forward.
Estoy cansado y me cagué en los pantalones. Ah, vete a la verga, güey.
You never get to see
Mamudo,
it, but whatever was
mamón,
down there
mudo,
sounds quite
güey,
large and coming from the
pendejo.
other side of the room, so it's very unlikely that Ivan was making the noise himself. Oh, and something tells me he won't be finding the courage to change the light bulb down there for a long time. Number 2.
It's called a Mexican.
All of the
Agua
other
bendita.
rooms of this abandoned church on Long Island look
Boom,
normal,
done.
yet the chandeliers. Brandon claims to have seen shadow figures all over this video too.
It could have been
so
your
be sure to
shower.
tell me if you
Shower.
happen to see
Shadow.
them. Just the fact that he isn't willing to go inside at all shows exactly how creepy this situation really must have been. The lights continue to go on and off. For some reason, at the 3-minute 35-second mark, they seem to get even more intense, almost like they are feeding off his mortal energy just from standing so near. He returns the next day to prove that this church really was abandoned and no longer in service. After all, no active church would leave their courtyard in such a state of disarray. But that's not all. Jay Brandon did some major research on this church and discovered that it had 3 separate fires and was struck by lightning twice. He provides the links in the description of the
Ooh,
video
Diosito
so
be
you can read them for
mad.
yourself. Maybe these flickering lights were caused by one of the spirits
be
from the
mad.
cemetery next door. I've got a challenge for you. Since you've made it this far, why not like this video and hit
I
subscribe in
bet.
the next 5 seconds? Because I
Bet.
upload 4 new scary videos every week. If you're curious about what I look like in real life, then go to my Instagram at DylanIsChillinYT and tap that follow button to find out. Number 1.
Don't overpay for Best Buy. WikiBuy can save you money.
Bitch, I'm
It's a
watching my
browser
video.
extension that automatically
Vete a la
applies
verga.
coupon
This kid is making a random video in a dark room for no real reason at all. When he makes the mistake of
Me lo
looking
está
down for a
jalando.
brief second
Hijo.
to cough,
Chicos.
a hunched over humanoid creature, who may or may not just be one of his friends, takes this opportunity to hit the ground of all fours and scramble after him. Even if this was one of his friends, maybe something bad happened to them to cause this transformation to take place, in which case, there is nothing fake about this video. These sea creature sightings caught on tape will make you never want to step foot in the water.
Foot in the water. Oh, my neck hurts. Bitch. Well, this wasn't really entertaining, but fuck it. We'll just post it because I need to be consistent for once in my life, you know? Fuck all of you. I still need to think of a name to call myself besides stupid, dumb Mexican bitch.